So let's talk about the African American take on The Wizard of Oz, The Wiz. Does it really deserve the hate it got a long time ago? Or can I bring this film to justice? Find out right now in this review. Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews. So greetings my fellow YouTubers and welcome to Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews. My name is Doyle, better known to y'all as the Big D, and this time around I bring to you a review of the musical adventure fantasy film The Wiz, released by Universal and Motown Productions. Now this of course is a reimagining of The Wonderful Wizard of Oz featuring an all-black cast. Though the film had a fairly good cast, the film was a big disappointment and ended a long streak of the blaxploitation run that started out in the early 70s. Anyway, now the film was loosely adapted from the Broadway musical of the same name, which came 4 years before that. It follows the adventures of Dorothy, a shy 24-year-old Harlem schoolteacher who finds herself magically transported to the urban fantasy land of Oz, which resembles a dream version of New York City. Befriended by a scarecrow, Tin Man, Cowardly Lion, they travel through the sea to seek an audience with the mysterious Wiz, who they say is the only one powerful enough to send her home. Anyway, the screenplay was written by the late great Joel Schumacher, whom we sadly lost this year, and was directed by Sidney Lumet and directed by Rob Cohen. Or is it? Oh wait, Rob Kahn, my mistake. Who of course would later go on to work for movies like work on The Fast and the Furious and Triple X. The film stars Diana Ross as Dorothy. Playing the Scarecrow is the late great Michael Jackson, who would soon get a real big success with his album Off the Wall and then later Thriller. Playing the Tin Man is Nipsey Russell, and as the Cowardly Lion, it's Ted Ross. And playing the title character is funny guy Richard Pryor. Anyway, now this, of course, is actually sort of a Thanksgiving treat because it did take place during Thanksgiving, and we start out as a Thanksgiving dinner. A crowded one brings a host of a family together in a small Harlem apartment, where a shy 24-year-old elementary school teacher named Dorothy Gale lives with her Aunt Em and Uncle Henry. Extremely introverted, she is teased by Aunt Em for never having been south of 125th Street, as she has delayed moving out to start her own independent life as an adult. While Dorothy cleans up after the meal, her dog Toto runs out the open kitchen door into a snowstorm. She succeeds in retrieving but finds herself trapped in the storm, a magical whirlwind made of snow. The work of Glinda, the Good Witch of the South, not North, who is played by Lena Horne, who of course was a big time singer, dancer, and actress. I've heard the name before. Anyway, let's see now. Where was I? Forgive me, everyone. Anyway, Glinda materializes and transports them to the sea realm of Oz. Released by the snowstorm, as Dorothy descends from the atmosphere, she smashes through an electric Oz sky sign, which falls upon and kills Evermean, the Wicked Witch of the East, who rules Munchkinland. As a result, she frees the Munchkins who populate the playground into which she lands. They have been transformed into graffiti by Evermean for painting the playground walls. And Dorothy soon meets the Munchkins' main benefactress, Miss One, the Good Witch of the North. a magical numbers runner who gives Evermean's pretty charmed silver slippers to her by teleporting them onto Dorothy's feet. However, Dorothy declares she does not want the shoes and desperately just wants to get back home. Miss One urges her to follow the yellow brick road to Emerald City and seek the help of the Wiz, who she believes holds the power to send Dorothy back to Harlem. After telling her to never take the silver shoes off, Miss One and the Munchkins disappear and Dorothy is left to search for the road on her own. The next morning, Dorothy happens upon a scarecrow made of garbage and rags, and his friends whim after saving him from being teased by a group of humanoid crows. They discover the yellow brick road and happily begin to follow it together. The Scarecrow hopes the Wiz might be able to give him the one thing he feels that he lacks, a brain, of course. Along the way to the Emerald City, the three friends meet the Tin Man in an abandoned early 20th century amusement park. And the Cowardly Lion, whose name is actually Fleetwood Coupe DeVille, a vain dandy who hid inside one of the stone lions in front of the New York Public Library after being banished from the jungle. The two joined him on their quest to find the Wiz, hoping to gain a heart and courage respectively. En route to the Emerald Sea, the adventurers must pass through a subway controlled by a crazy peddler that happens to be a homeless man who controls evil puppets. Other deadly monsters all awaken and try to kill the group, such as trash cans that try to crush a scarecrow by his arm, the fuse box electrocuting the Tin Man, and the pillars that try to crush Dorothy. But the lion bravely rescues his friends by fighting off the monsters. They narrowly escape the subway only to encounter flamboyant prostitutes known as the Poppy Girls, a reference to the poppy field from the original story. They attempt to put Dorothy, Toto, and the lion into an eternal sleep with magic poppy perfume. So, finally reaching Emerald City, the four friends gain passage into the city because of Dorothy's ownership of the silver slippers. They marvel at the spectacle of the city and its sophisticated fashion-forward dancers. They are granted an audience with the Wiz, who lives at the very top of the towers and appears to them as a giant fire-breathing metallic head, which is really creepy. Yeah, well, in a way. He will only grant their wishes if they kill the sister of the Wicked Witch of the East, Eveline, the Wicked Witch of the West, who is played by Mabel King, who was formerly playing Mrs. Thomas on TV's What's Happening, because she was no longer in the cast, but was, however, mentioned, though. Anyway, Eveline, who runs a sweatshop in the underground sewers of Oz, is where she is. Before they can reach her domain, Eveline learns of their quest to kill her and sends out the Flying Monkeys, a motorcycle gang, to keep them at bay. Now for the ending to this movie. Okay, if you've not seen this movie, you stop this video and go to the time below and fast forward to avoid any spoilers. You got 5 seconds. If you have seen this, proceed on. Okay, here we go. Okay, you've been warned. After a long chase, the flying monkeys succeed in capturing their targets and bring them back to Eveline. Vengeful for Dorothy having killed her sister, she dismembers the scarecrow and flattens the Tin Man and hangs the lion up by his tail in hopes of making Dorothy give her the silver shoes. When she threatens to throw Toto into a fiery cauldron, Dorothy nearly gives in until the scarecrow hints to her to activate a fire sprinkler switch, which she does. The sprinklers put out the fire, but also melt Eveline, who is made of ice. And she is flushed down into her throne, the lid of which slams shut like a toilet. With Eveline dead, her spells lose their power. The Winkies are freed from their permanent costumes, revealing attractive humans underneath, and their sweatshop tools disappear. They break into song and dance and praise Dorothy as their emancipator. The flying monkeys give her and her friends a triumphant ride back to Emerald City. Upon arriving, the quartet takes a back door into the Wiz's quarters and discovers that he is a phony because the Wiz is actually Herman Smith, a failed politician from Atlantic City, New Jersey, who was transported to Oz when a balloon he was flying to promote his campaign to become the city dog catcher was lost in a storm. The Scarecrow, Tin Man, and Lion are distraught that they will never receive their respective items, the brain, the heart, and the courage. But Dorothy makes them realize that they already have had these things all along. Just as it seems as if she will never be able to get home, Glinda appears and implores her to find her way home by searching within and using the magic of the silver slippers. After thanking Glinda and saying goodbye to our friends, she reminisces about home. And so she clicks her heels together 3 times. She looks up and discovers she is back near home with Toto in her arms and walks into the apartment, repeating the phrase, "There's no place like home." End of story. So, what did I think of The Wiz? Well, though I've seen it in its entirety one time, I am going to say it's, well, an okay, good movie. It's not really the best. It does have its flaws and what have you, but I think maybe Diana Ross, who people and critics claimed was too old for the role of Dorothy, which that's understandable, was pretty reasonable, but everyone else I think was hit or miss, but mostly it was Michael Jackson who did a very good job. Nipsey Russell, not bad, and Ted Ross, not bad either. After we see him in, well, actual form, Richard Pryor, yeah, not bad either. But not great though. Just good in ways, but anyway, now the music's real good. It has some pretty good songs. I actually do like He's the Wiz. But it has lots of other good songs in here, including You Can't Win, Ease On Down the Road, Everybody Rejoice, Believe, and Home. So, plus a lot of others. But the film was a commercial disappointment. It failed to only bring in 21 million. And, well, but went on to become a cult classic, mostly among black audiences. It did go on to try and be successful on TV years later when CBS aired it, as that would fall with airing the original Wizard of Oz with Judy Garland, which had formerly been seen on other channels like NBC. Which reminds me, NBC actually did a live television adaptation of the musical in The Wiz Live in 2015. But anyway, yeah, there's some hits and misses and what have you in The Wiz. So would I recommend it? Well, I would say give it one try, and if you're not satisfied, don't bother with it again. Stick with The Wizard of Oz. It's not that I'm trying to be rude to people that are color. I have respect. I do have some respect for this movie, okay? It's just that they could have just used a little spin and polish, but enough said. You should know what I'm trying to tell you. So, what are your thoughts on The Wiz? Please tell me in the comment section below. If you like this video, click the like button below, subscribe to my channel as well, and be a part of the Big D Nation. Join me next time when I bring to you another Thanksgiving treat, and it'll be a Thanksgiving horror flick known as Blood Rage. Anyway, thanks for watching, and if you like this, you might want to check out some of these other fun-filled Oz reviews. In the upper left-hand corner is my review of the classic Wizard of Oz from 1939 with Judy Garland. In the upper Right hand corner is my review of Return to Oz with a young Fairuza Balk, which I reviewed earlier this month. Or if you would like to take a little bit of a pause and what have you from all that stuff, go to the bottom and see something else. See my recent review of the Christmas Chronicles from 2018 in the bottom left hand corner. And the bottom right hand corner is the button you can click to subscribe. If you like rankings and reviews on movies, TV, music, video games, etc., then I'm your guy. Thanks again for watching. Until next time, I'm the Big D saying, see ya.